Showboating Sports, guys, man, we are back. Man, welcome back to the channel, man. We're going to talk tonight about Shakur Stevenson versus Lomachenko. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to let that roll out. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and share. So we're going to go and get on with this right here. We're going to let the algorithm kick in. Also, we are opening up the phone lines. You guys look at the bottom of the screen. You'll see the phone number that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, right? We always open up those phone lines, let people call in at any time throughout the show. And there it is. You see it scrolling across the screen. You guys need to call in. You want to give up. You want to get something off your chest. You want to give some smoke or get some smoke. Feel free to do so in that camp. Yeah, like I said, we're going to let all the algorithms go ahead and click on in and let the algorithms let everybody else know so the rest of the crew can get in. Because guess what? We always have our regulars coming in. We have the rest of the crew. The rest of the circus always comes out. And so without no further ado, we're going to go ahead and talk about Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson. Next. It should be next. That should be the fight that's going down, right? You know, I should have just put this up here. Yeah, that should be the fight that's next, right? Lomachenko, he jumped line. He's actually in front of Shakur Stevenson now. They elevated him up, and so he's above Shakur Stevenson now because he really wanted. He seemed like he was wanting that match with Devin Haney because Lomachenko went back and he said he was going to talk to the judges and try to go to court about it and try to get that overturned. That fight with Devin Haney is what he wanted to do, right? And so he contacted the WBC and they wrote a letter to WBC about that fight and saying that they really won that fight and they think that the WBC should overturn that fight. And Mauricio Suleiman, that's over the WBC, was his dad's company. He said, no, we're not overturning nothing, bruh. We're not. You gotta, you took that L and you gotta ride with that L. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but some of these fighters just feel like that they should be catered to, you know? And Mauricio Suleiman has already looked out for Lomachenko. You guys remember there was a such thing called the franchise belt. Now, the franchise belt came out because WBC said that they implemented that belt. It was not a belt. It was just a status, a designation. And what the belt was really supposed to do was it was supposed to allow a fighter to be able to go up and down in weight and don't have to have mandatory so he could fight the best of the best and don't have to worry about having a mandatory, right? So they actually came up with that with Canelo. And Canelo was down at the 160. And I think he needed to fight Charlo. And he also needed to fight Andre because both those two guys was his mandatory. And so he stayed back and they end up stripping him. He ended up giving up the belt, one of those belts. And the other one was the WBC. And WBC gave him the franchise belt. They elevated him. And so then they gave the WBC regular champion belt on out. And so Lomachenko had not Lomachenko, but Canelo had the franchise belt. So that means he didn't have to satisfy any mandatories right then, right? And that way he could move up to 168. He could stay at 160 or 154, 170. It doesn't matter. Franchise champion, it's a designation, it's an honor. And if you lost that belt, if you got beat, the belt would not move on. Well, Lomachenko asked for that, requested to become franchise, right? Lomachenko said he didn't do that, but his team asked for it. He's saying he didn't have anything to do with it, but Mauricio Suleiman let him get the belt, right? So Canelo asked about the franchise belt, and so did Lomachenko. So both of the two guys got those belts. And now, like I said before, they were not supposed to be able to be lost in a fight. There was a designation. But when they was fighting Teofimo Lopez, they changed the rules up and said he could win it, right? So that's what he did. 8 Mile salute, fam. So they said that Lomachenko can lose the belt, and so that's what they did. They let Teofimo Lopez get the belt. So Teofimo Lopez won the belt. So with that being said, the franchise belt has made fighters feel like they are special fighters. that they can just make the rules up as they go. And Lomachenko was a beneficiary of that rule and of that franchise belt for a little short period of time. So when he lost that fight to Devin Haney, he felt like, hey, I am special. I can just hit the WBC up and tell them I want to overturn the fight, and they'll do it for me. I mean, that's what he thought. That's what the dude really thought. But guess what happened? Mauricio Suleiman said no. See, they can't just keep catering to you over and over and over again. Loma, you're getting older. You're not as active. You're not putting butts in seats. Bob Arum hasn't done the best job in promoting his fighters. He never does, right? Lomachenko, in Bob Arum's words, is just as nice as Ali, if one of the best in the game to ever do it. But Lomachenko does not sell a big crowd. He just haven't, because they have not put that kind of money in there. Bob Arum is cheap. I'm just gonna tell you guys that. That's what it is. Bob Arum is cheap. And I know Bob, listen. And I will tell you, if Bob Arum heard me say that, you know what Bob Arum would say to me? Bob Arum would say,
little prick.
Yeah.
Yeah, prick.
Go ahead.
Come on, get him out of here.
I know Bob Arum would say that to me, and I don't care. I could care less. But this is Showboating Sports. You know how we do. We always say, we're going to stand on that, right? That's what we do. We stand on what we say, right? So I'm going to stand on this. Bob Arum is cheap. He doesn't put money in his fighters and build them up, because he keeps them under his thumb, right? And every fighter that has ever left him if they had a good name, it was a really good fighter, they have blossomed. They have come up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. So AAR, salute. So you have Lomachenko, who lost to Devin Haney, so he felt like, hey, I'm special. But you're not special because you don't bring a big crowd, right? Canelo brings a big crowd. Canelo does. That's just what happens. So they're going to bend the rules for Canelo. But that's not going to help. That's not going to help Lomachenko. So Lomachenko doesn't have the franchise. He doesn't have that favor that he once had with WBC. So he was kind of hot and bothered about that, right? But still, they still elevate him, made him now. He is number one, and he is in position to get another title shot or fight his way back up. So he is saying that he'd like to fight Tank, but they're not. They look at it like it's high. It's what does Tank really get out of Loma? I think Tank should fight Loma. Me personally, I do. You know what I'm saying? Tank should fight Loma. I really think so, right? But think about it from Gervonta Tank Davis thing is that Loma lost to Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, right? Controversial or not, but Loma has those two losses right there too. So really, Loma has 3 losses, but those 2 recent losses right there. So if Tank beats Loma, does Tank really get credit for beating Loma? He gets credit if he knocks Loma out. But let's say he doesn't knock Loma out, right? But so does he really get credit for that, right? So at the end of the day, how much would he really make about that, right? Oh, said AB is. Oh yeah. Hey, AB is what it is, man. We have to see what AB gonna do a little bit later. But yeah, so Lomachenko is just. I mean, who he should fight next is Shakur Stevenson. So I think that fight right there is that they're gonna make these 2 guys, that they're gonna let these guys hash it out. I think that's what they're trying to make work. But I'm not sure if Loma really wants to take that fight. I know Shakur Stevenson wants that fight, but I'm not sure if Loma does, because if Loma loses to Shakur Stevenson, then that really puts a really big blow on his career. You know what I'm saying? So Shakur Stevenson is looking to fight anybody to help elevate himself. So he's really with that on any level. But I do think that that's something that's on the table right now, that Shakur Stevenson versus Loma is what's next. But that will be a really good fight. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to get everybody's thoughts on that tonight and see how everybody see that fight playing out. Will it go the distance? Will it be good for both of their career? Just everything that involves these 2 guys going at it. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Y'all tell me what y'all think. I think it will be a really, really good fight. And I think that both fighters really could use this fight. And I don't think that if this fight is close, I think that if this fight is close, like Devin Haney and what's name them, it still solidifies all their names in history. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys think about it. Marvin Hagler, Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, all those guys fought. Some of them lost against each other. It was wars going on. And at the end of the day, when you look at over all those guys, you salute all those guys and say that is greatness. Do you look at either one of them and go, well, because, you think about it, because Duran was fighting Sugar Ray Leonard, was doing real good, and he said no mas. He quit. So that haunted Sugar Ray Leonard for years. Why did you quit? So Sugar Ray Leonard some years back had a special and he got to go talk to Roberto Duran and he asked him about it. A lot of people think that Roberto Duran took that fight and took a dive. You know what I'm saying? So it's controversy in all of that stuff. Just like Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. Marvin Hagler was so pissed off about Sugar Ray Leonard, he carried that out for his whole life. He felt he beat Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? In his head, he beat Sugar Ray Leonard. So it was a tight, close fight. So it's the same thing with Devin Haney and Lomachenko. That's the things that in history, you'll miss those little small details over the years. That stuff it just miraculously fades away. And all you'll know is the win. You know it was a really good fight. But that was a controversial victory. It has so many people pissed off about Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard. It was just like Devin Haney and Lomachenko. It was just like it, dude. It was. If you guys don't know anything about it, I suggest you guys go watch that fight. I had Sugar Ray Leonard beating Hagler. I did. You know what I mean? I did. Sugar Ray Leonard came back out of retirement. Hagler was this brute, like Spence gonna walk through you and all that. Sugar Ray Leonard held his own. He held his own. AAR said 50-50 fight, but Shakur Stevenson can't take it because a loss hurts his legacy early. If he can't take a loss, you said Shakur Stevenson can't take a loss. I think he could. I think Shakur Stevenson could take a loss. I think Shakur Stevenson, everybody knows how bright his future is, and it depends on how the loss goes down. If you get into a real good, tight, close fight all the way to the end, and it's a war to the end, that is a fight that nobody loses. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, the fight with Devin Haney and Lomachenko was so close that some of those rounds could have been either way, and it was a hard fight to score. That was a hard fight to score. I don't care who you pull for. If you pull for Devin, it was a hard fight to score. If you pull for Loma, it was a hard fight to score. There was no blowouts. It was none of that stuff. It was none of that. Like Lomachenko said that they were robbed. Just like Devin Haney's dad said, man, it's no need for it. No need for what's name. Listen, I had Devin Haney beating Lomachenko, but I did not have Devin Haney beating him where it was just easy. It just wasn't.
From
Wow.
to accept.
Showboating Sports, you are on. Who am I speaking with?
It's
I don't know. There was I think it was somebody calling in, want to go off on us about that. He was an old pimp from the old days. He said, yeah, that's a 50-50 fight. Tough fight to score, Haney versus Loma. Yeah, it was. I'm sick of Bill. Said you sick of Bill. Hey, but at the end of the day, 8 Mile, hey, I can understand it. But one thing I am going to say about Bill Haney, he does what every coach, manager, Mr. Finesse, salute. Man, where have you been, man? Where have you been, dog?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Showboating Sports. Who am I speaking with?
Donald. I'm from the Bay Area.
Okay, all right, man. You on the show? Go ahead, man. The floor is yours. Hey, before anything goes any further, I don't know if you will or not, but we're gonna say, let's try to keep the profanity out. I'm just telling everybody that because we're trying to change up because I do make 1 or 2 pennies a month, and they try and take that away from me. So the floor is yours, my man.
Oh yeah, I called you a while ago, a couple months ago. I forget the topic, but I called your show like twice or 3 times. But it hadn't been a minute. It hasn't been for a minute now.
Yeah.
But I was chiming in about I don't know, man. I would stay away from Loma, especially if I was Shakur, because it seemed like after that Devin stuff, they're trying to manipulate judges now. So I think that's kind of a dangerous fight for anybody that fight Loma right now. Because I don't know, after that Devin fight, I went to see him in a different light. I don't know. I don't really like that cat no more. He kind of gives me Tyson Fury vibes, like.
Oh, okay. So you say you don't really care too much for Devin and that whole regime?
No, I'm talking about Loma.
Oh, Loma.
I'm a big Devin fan.
Okay. So you don't care too much about the way Loma and them handled that, huh?
Yeah, it's almost seems like they're trying to manipulate judges now. Like the next, almost like they're trying to, like, the next close fight, you better give it to me now.
Gotcha.
So, like, all the crying, because, yeah, it just seemed like, I don't know if I was Shakur, I would say I know they'll probably kill him for they would call him ducking, but I wouldn't fight Loma right now because it seems like unless you blow him out the water, they're gonna try to give it to Loma because of the way they crying now off that Devin.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Finesse said in here, he said Loma is a dang sore loser. He is. You know, the thing about it is, man, what do you think about that? Do you think that fight was a robbery? I mean, how do you look at the overall of the fight? What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, so here's the thing. I was there. I'm a big Devin fan. I'm from Oakland. You know, Devin's from Oakland. So, I mean, I'm a big Devin fan. So, when I was there, you know, Loma had the majority of the fans there. So, where I was sitting, it was kind of like at a corner. So, certain parts of the fight I couldn't see because I was blocked by the ropes. So, I had to rely on the crowd. So, with the crowd, you know, anything Loma did, they were like, oh, wow. It almost seemed like Devin got knocked out. So when I got back home, I rewatched the fight. And most of those punches, Loma had actually missed. Like Loma, he was more active. He would throw like a 4 or 5 punch combination, and maybe 2 of them would connect. But the crowd, they would just get so juiced off the activity that it made it seem like Devin was damn near about to get knocked out. But then when you actually looked at what he was doing, he wasn't really doing anything. Now that round 11, winner rounds was like he was about to drop Devin. Now that round he did fuck Devin up like that. I ain't gonna front that round, but I don't know if that was round 10 or round 11. It almost looked like he was about to stop there.
Yeah. Mr. Finesse just put up that he gave Loma 3, 10, and 11, and maybe 8. So I think everybody gave Loma 10 and 11. I think he got that. He should have had that on just about everybody's scorecards. Those was his 2 rounds.
He definitely had 10 and 11. But the rest of it, nah. And you can just look at their faces at the end of the fight. It's like they say, okay, Devin only did body shots, but if he only did body shots, why did Loma's face after the fight look like that? Look at Devin's face and look at Loma's face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think in Loma, you know, with all that crying, he messed himself out of a rematch. Devin would have probably gave him a rematch, but all that crying, like Devin ain't gonna rematch him no more. And it's, like I said, they almost like they trying to manipulate the judges. But next time, where if there's any close fight, they got to give it to Loma now.
Yeah, trying to bully the judges.
So I was like,
I said trying to bully the judges is what it seemed like.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, trying to appeal the decision. And, you know, it's just like I lost so much respect for Loma. I saw him. I thought he was like an integrity guy, but he almost reminded me of like a Tyson Fury now, like a total fraud.
Yeah. But I said it stems from all the special treatment he been getting. You see what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Because Loma's got a lot of special treatment here, and he's a good fighter. Loma is a good fighter, but that coming into the loss already got another belt.
He's a good fighter.
And then the franchise situation he was in on that, you know what I mean, protect him on that. So he felt like I can just cry and get my way. That's what it seems like to me. And I lost a little respect for him too on that.
And then the crying and that was for the cameras. That was for you know, if you really want to cry, you're gonna cry when the cameras are gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Put a towel over his head. They should just let him put that towel. Yeah, they should just put a towel over him, and you know what I mean? We understand it's emotional.
Yeah, but it looks like that was part of the plan. Okay, we're gonna cry, and then we're gonna say it's a robbery, then we're gonna appeal the decision. It almost like all that was orchestrated.
Right.
Because I'm sure all of them dudes cry after. I'm sure whoever loses all the Spence and Crawford, one of them gonna cry, but they ain't gonna do it on camera in front of all the like. You know, I'm sure all the dudes cry, but when you do it in front of all the camera, it's almost like all that was like orchestrated.
Yeah, putting on a show.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, he's still a great fighter. I can't even call him a great fighter because he didn't lost all his big fights. So I say he's a good fighter. Yeah, but all his separate fights he's lost. He's still a good fighter. But he just gotta stop all the antics and stuff. And And like Shakur, that would be a great fight. I think Shakur, if I was Shakur, I wouldn't fight that guy because almost seems like they trying to manipulate the judges. If Shakur don't blow him off the water, where it's like, damn, this is a one-sided fight, and I think he's gonna lose because the judges now they gotta feel like, oh man, if we don't move for Loma this time, now they're gonna accuse us of being biased. Now he done lost 2 close fights. I'm sure you know that publication. I'm not gonna give him no love, but it's a publication out there that's been every single day been talking about, most of us have forgot about this Devin fight. They still bringing it every day. They brought this Devin fight up. And like I said, I'll probably text you them, but I don't even want to get on that type of pub.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I got you.
It almost seemed like they, it almost like they're trying to manipulate, bully. So if I was Devin, Shakur, I wouldn't go nowhere near Loma.
Yeah.
Because unless you blow him off the water, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. I think I watch it a little bit too. Yeah. You better go in there and tread lightly. And if you go in there for Loma, you better try to blow them on out the water, like you said. They better not be close this time.
Yeah. Because and that clown Paulie, I ain't got no word for him. Paulie Marlon, that's
yeah. Paulie is still bitter, man. I don't. Ever since Adrian Broner slept with Paulie Malignaggi's girl, man, Paulie Malignaggi has had a problem with all of us, man.
Yeah.
So we need AB to apologize to him. But Paulie Malignaggi, man, he is just really tripping on that, But hey, it's one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, for him to make this about race, and that's funny because they usually saying we the one that makes this about race. I never thought, of course, I know that Loma's white and Devin's black, but I never looked at this, Devin, he's black, he can't lose to a white boy. No, I never, that is, the racial element of this never even crossed my mind.
Yeah. And a lot of times those fighters, sometimes they do that and poke fun and mess with each other and try to get in each other's head and try to piss the other one off. And by doing so, it does get the outside people. Because Devin said he wasn't going to use to a white boy years ago. He said that, and you remember AB said it too. AB said, "I'm not going to lose to a Mexican, a Puerto Rican, African," and so he said it, and so that's just something that they play with. But Paulie took it to the next level and making it be more than what it is, because he said that European fighters dominate the sport and black fighters are not dominating no more. And we like, man, they're not getting a chance. You can't say they're not dominating if they're not getting a chance to fight, So,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the Devin, he was. I think he was wrong for that. But people forget Devin is still a kid. Devin is not even 25 years old. When he made that comment, I believe Devin was like 21 years old.
22, something like that. Yeah, Mr. Finesse said. Mr. Finesse said that Paulie is from Bensonhurst and they're known for their racist immigrants. Okay. Yeah. Okay,
I already know.
So he's kind of like from a Boston type situation where you come from an area that is a little racist, you know what I mean? But you remember, I'm gonna tell you something about that though that's really funny when you think about it. You remember when Paulie Malignaggi years ago had the cornrows in his hair? He tried to have braids. You remember that?
Yeah.
It didn't make weight, and they had to cut it out of his. So Paulie didn't have a problem back in the day, you know what I mean? But when Adrian Brony banged his girl, now he hate all black dudes.
Well, they love our culture, but they hate us. They love our culture. Out here in the West Coast where I'm at, some of the more racist cats, they listen to hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wear the hats. They got the tapers and all that, and they can't stand black people. Like they like our culture, but they don't like us.
Yep.
Yeah, so and like I say, and probably he didn't say that numerous comments. He didn't say worse stuff than that. Remember, he got fired from Showtime for saying stuff about Wilder and all that. So,
yeah, he did, and that's when he said. But that's when he said about the European fighters. He said that black fighters are not on top anymore. And they asked him to take it back. He said, "Nah, I won't." They asked him to apologize, and he wouldn't.
No.
And the Wilder thing too. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was just Yeah, that
Huh?
was a small part of it. Yeah, he said a whole lot because he said something about wild. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
that's not
Yeah.
even what got him fired from Showtime. What got him fired from Showtime when he said that he don't think racism exists anymore in America.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I do remember him
Yeah,
saying that. But
that's
he
what
said
got
a
him fired.
whole lot
Yeah,
of
he
little
said,
crazy stuff though. He did.
yeah, and he didn't say a word like. I could be naming stuff for an hour that he didn't say a lot of stuff like recent stuff.
Yeah.
Not like stuff 10 years ago. He didn't say stuff like as of a year ago. He didn't say numerous stuff. So if anybody looking at this as race, it's him.
Yep. Polly is. Polly's got a
Yeah,
problem. And Polly was an okay boxer. He wasn't nothing special. You know what I mean? He was talking, Polly was talking
yeah,
about how Devin Haney and other people's careers pumped up. But Polly yours was too, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Oh, Mr. Vanessa, he was always talking crap about Ahmaud Arbery too. Yeah. So
yeah,
he
yeah.
probably okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then he had a video making fun of George Floyd, not even a year ago.
Right.
He had did a video with Mario Lopez, and he was joking about George Floyd.
Oh wow. I didn't check that one. I'm gonna check that one out.
Yeah, and this not even a week. I'm not a week ago, but it's not even a year ago.
Oh, wow.
You can't even find that. They had that scrubbed up the internet. So if you try to YouTube like Mario Lopez, like probably George Floyd, you can't even find. They had that totally scrubbed off the internet.
They had it scrubbed. Okay. If you ever come across that stuff and anybody else, in the description of the videos, I always put my Instagram link on there, and you guys can go to my Instagram and send it to my Instagram, or find me on Twitter too. I need to put my Twitter link up too.
Yeah,
man. But
I was just big fan of the show and stuff, and I always listen to you, and I even heard you last Sunday when you called in cast. I forget his name.
AM Sports. AM Sports. Angry Man. Angry Man podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I even called in them sometime. I called in a couple of times. I heard you last Sunday. You called in on them. I'm a big fan of them.
Oh, okay. And, Good crew, man. Man. There was some good guys, man. I really like their channel too, man. But I appreciate you coming in here, man, dude. Appreciate that, man. Love when people call in and got good common sense,
I'm in the
man.
Bay Area. There's not too many boxing fans out here, so I'm trying to keep it alive for the West Coast. Mostly cats is East Coast and South and stuff. So I'm trying to, keep it alive for the West Coast.
Appreciate it, man. Make sure you just stay a part of the crew over here, man, and come in with us. Let us know how it's going on at the end, and maybe we all meet up at a fight. Cause I'm gonna start going to some of these fights. Don't know if I'm gonna make this Spence versus Crawford fight. Was really wanting to go to that, man, but that done got out of hand real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm still not 100%. No, I still might just go to Vegas, just be in the atmosphere and be around. So you never know.
Yeah.
But okay, man.
Okay. Yeah. All right, man.
Thanks, man. I'll catch you back in the chat, man. Appreciate you calling in. Yeah, man. So yeah. He said, I can't speak for we, but I'm definitely calling Polly a racist. Y'all, Polly definitely is. If the shoe fits, he can wear it, man. Yeah, that's what they said, AAR. He made one. So I said, anybody find that video, please send it to me. Tune, salute. Everybody else that came in that I missed, salute. Glad you guys are here. Spence versus Crawford, too expensive. Yeah, Spence versus Crawford is kind of up there, man. But hey, it's one of those things that, you might still want to just be in the atmosphere, I just want to be, because what's funny, when you go to the boxing matches, you can't really see the boxing match like you really want. Everybody's screaming and hollering, you talking, you celebrate. It's good environments to be in, but it's horrible for if you're really trying to see every little thing that's going on. So when you get through, you got to go back home and watch it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did with Devin Haney and Loma. Oh, it's a robbery. You go back home, and like my man said on the phone, I saw it. Loma missed a whole lot of shots. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot, But like I said, it was a good, tight fight. I had Devin Haney winning. But hey, if my thing is, like I always say, man, he says huge fight, you get what you pay for. Yeah, you're right. So, but like I said, if you got two fighters in there, the champion and the challenger, and they both hit each other 10 times in one round, and they both power shots, I give that round to the champion. If it's dead even, it goes to the champion because the challenger must show that they beat the champion. You must have a clear thing that you beat the champion. That's just how I score it. That's how I've always known since I was little how I've looked at it. Maybe things have changed and people are wrong, but that's how they always do. The champ always, you gotta, like they say, the saying comes, you got to be the champ, you gotta beat the champ. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to have good seats and all that, or you're not seeing it. Yep. Yeah. The rules change depending on the color of the skin. Yeah, it really does. But at the end of the day, man, this is the thing about boxing. There's always going to be some kind of racial element to everything because that makes for good boxing. You know what I mean? You want a great white hype. You're going to have black and Mexican going at it. So, it's always competitive. But the problem is that people take that crap too far. You know what I'm saying? They take it from where it's not a sport, like they're doing with Canelo. It's like I say, Canelo is not fighting the best. Man, it's just another black channel dogging Canelo. I'm like, well, if I said, how is that me dogging Canelo when I'm telling you I want to see him fight David Benavidez? Neither one of them two guys are black. Make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? I said, so if David Benavidez is not black and I'm taking up for David Benavidez saying that Canelo should fight him, how is that a black channel just hating on that? It's two Mexicans. I don't care how you count it. You can say a Mexican American don't count. Well, if that's the case, Canelo is a redhead white guy. If you want to look at it like that, you know what I mean? If you want to be technical about stuff, he looked like a white kid. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, anybody can say anything about any of it, man. It's just silliness, man. Boxing is a sport, man, where the best must fight the best, and nobody gets a pass. Nobody ever get a pass. He said, my opinion, I had Loma 75. And you know what, 8 Mile? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But saying that it was a robbery, that ain't a robbery, man. Oh, yeah. Devin was getting booed. Yeah. They do that. They do that stuff, man. Hell, look at it. Clarissa Shields don't get love. Wasn't getting love. Now she's starting to get some love. Deontay Wilder didn't get no love. Terrence Crawford really wasn't getting none. You know what I'm saying? Earl Spence start getting love because, he's in Texas. So he has a really nice Mexican fan base and black. So he's getting the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? It works for Earl. Tank gets it. You know what I mean? Tank gets a little bit of love. He said, that makes no sense to me. That's like saying you can't beat the Chiefs by 1. You got to beat them by 7. Or since the champ always thought that was dumb. But see, this is it. This is it, Toon. This is where it goes. So challengers get up for the fight more so than a champion because they're going to really, really train because, they're going to come harder. You know what I'm saying? They're going to put a performance on in their life. And it's hard for a champion to do that every single time. It just really is. I mean, that's just how it goes. You hear them talk about it. They got to get up for a fight. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Mr. Finesse. That's it. That takes the words right out of my mouth. You can't tie the champ to beat the champ. If I got the belt and you come and even with me and you take my belt, how is that fair? You can't. If we tying, I still got my belts. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. The first fight, Deontay knocked Tyson down. They said it wasn't enough. They called it a draw. Deontay didn't lose his belt. He didn't have to fight Tyson Fury again. So at the end of the day, even if it was a draw, he still won because he got the belts. That's what happens. So that's the thing, Toon. Is not, and that applies to every champion. Yeah. That applies to every champion. You know what I'm saying? To be the champ, you got to beat him. And I'm not saying you got to beat the brakes off of him and you got to knock him out. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's got to be a landslide victory. Yeah, you got to, right, AAR. You got to prove you decisively won those 4 belts. You got to decisively win those belts. You know what I'm saying? If he has the belt, he's got it. He's like a little bit ahead. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you gotta show that, hey, out of this fight, I beat him at least 7 of them rounds. I clearly beat this dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to show that you took him. And that's what I'm saying, Toon. Yeah, Toon. Okay. Well, Toon, but this is the thing. You saying everybody had Loma up 2 rounds, right? If you had it 7-5 and some of those rounds were real close, it could have been 6-6. Okay, Toon, do this for me. Tell us in here 7 rounds that you had Loma winning. And you can go look at the what's name if you need to. You can go look at the um 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 CompuBox if you need to. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But let me say this. Let me say this. This is the thing. This is the thing. Loma does what a lot of fighters do, and and I'm not just saying about Loma, but the reason why I'm putting Loma in here because we're talking about Loma. But I'm gonna show you something real quick, Toon. You heard the whole, you know, the saying, they steal the round. That means at the last of the fight, the last 30 seconds, they start trying to steal the round, meaning I didn't do too much at the beginning of the round, so I'm gonna try to steal the round. That's what people do, correct? So people in their mind have a game plan of how they're gonna win the fight. Keith Thurman, so I'm talking about Keith Thurman. It's a black fighter, so nobody won't say, oh man, you just dogging every other fighter. Keith Thurman is a big old duck. So y'all already know how I feel about Keith Thurman. Black fighter, I say he's a duck. So Keith Thurman, also Sean Porter, who's a fighter, said this about that. Sean Porter said, Keith Thurman gets ahead on the scorecards and runs from you the rest of the fight with catch me if you can. That's his game plan. Now keep it in mind. I told you about stealing rounds the last 30 seconds. Keith Thurman says, I'm gonna win the first half of the fight and get on my bicycle and let you run into shots and I'm gonna stay ahead, right? Lomachenko fights in spurts. At the end of every round, the last 30 seconds, he's stealing rounds. He does that with the fight too. Every fight that he's in, he's saving his energy to the end of the fight. So when you get tired, he looks even better. Every fight you telling me it takes him 9 rounds to figure everybody out. He's just not fighting. With Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko did not fight those first. There was some rounds he didn't even throw 7 punches in a round. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you think about it. The beginning of the fight, what he does is he conserves his energy because they call them the championship rounds for a reason. Those the rounds that separate you. Well, if you haven't been fighting the whole fight, you got a lot of energy left for the last championship rounds. 9 were really 10, 11, and 12, but really 9, 10, 11, 12, however you want to count it. Some people say it's 10, 11, and 12, but some people say it's 9. It's just, I guess, how you figure. So 10, 11, 12, Loma turns it on every fight. And what are you going to remember? You're going to remember how the fight ended and not how the fight started. Loma does this every fight. He did it to Teofimo Lopez. Oh, when he lost, oh, I really won that fight. Oh, my shoulder was messed up. But every fight you do the same thing. You take the first few rounds off. And at the end, you go, well, I'm in here showing out. I'm making up for these rounds. Listen. A boxing match is 12 rounds, not 3 or 4, not the last championship rounds. It's 12 rounds. And that's what, like Keith Thurman said, each round is a fight. Every round is a fight. So you got to beat them every round. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Now listen. I can show you guys. Okay, hold on. I'm going to show it to you. Y'all bear with me. I'm going to show you guys something. So this way you guys will see it. Let me see this. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna get on here. What I am doing is I'm gonna let you guys know what I'm doing so you guys won't think that I'm here just doing something else. Hold on. You might hear a quick echo, but I'm gonna stop the echo. But I'm going to upload. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload. All right. So Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna. Oh, okay, 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 yeah, yeah, it was doing that. So I'm gonna be quiet this time. Y'all just give me one quick second. I'm gonna upload these. I'm going back in so you guys won't hear an echo. Just hold 1 second. All right, there we go. So what I did was I had it in my phone, so I had to upload it from here. Megastar in the building. Salute, salute, salute. Oh shit. I didn't make it big enough. I don't know if you well, it's too small. So I got this on here that somebody had put up, and it made a whole lot of sense if you guys look at it. It says so they both won 5 rounds each, came off the spit bucket. And somebody had this up, so they did it. And I had the same thought when I looked at it. But if you look at it, this is going to show you the CompuBox, right? And it said, look what it says. So they both won 5 rounds each, landed more punches than the other. And in the 2 even rounds, Haney landed more power punches. So that's 7 rounds to 5 rounds in favor of Haney. Now stop crying. Admit Haney. So in some of those rounds, right? Devin landed more punches in some of them swing rounds. So they would say, well, and it ain't about CompuBox, about exactly how let me see. It ain't about just CompuBox numbers, you know what I'm saying? But it does play a part and play a role in there, you know. But anyway, you can go look at it and you'll see some of those rounds that they said was close. Devin did land a little bit more than him. But like I said, if you guys decide that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna say your thoughts on old boy giving Haney doing 10 though. Man, round 10. Yeah, yeah. I didn't give listen. All 3 judges saw the same thing, and we all know that was all wide. I had it 115 to 113. I had him by 1 round, period. And I gave him the 12th round. Loma got 10th and 11th. I gave that to Loma, period. Loma got that. But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. I mean, that's over with. It's under the bridge. And like I told y'all before, for the people that don't know, that as this fight fades into history, it's just gonna be just like Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard. When they fought, it was controversial. So Marvin Hagler was pissed at Sugar Ray Leonard for years. He said, I won that fight. I think didn't he retire because of that fight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he retired right after that. I was right, getting ready to. I think it was like but he got mad. He left. Did he leave the country or something like that? He said, "I'm gonna mute the sound and watch the fight again." Yeah, just watch it. It ain't about that, but watch this anytime y'all look at the fight. Anytime y'all look at the fight, body shots still count. You know what I mean? Body shots count, and those and when you look at it, when you get hit, he answered back. You know what I'm saying? So when Loma did land them good shots, Devin landed them good shots. Loma threw a lot of punches that slipped, missed, went over, and someone was like pity pat punches. That's kind of like when you're in the amateur, you hitting the score. And in the Olympics, you hit the score. So those punches are more scoring punches, right? So 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 when you're fighting, In professional, it's a different ball game. You're not just in there. It's effective scoring. It's ring generalship. Is how you control it. Devin Haney, a lot of people said Devin was gonna run. He hugs too much. He doesn't do this. He pressed forward on a lot of the fight. Then Loma pressed forward. Devin got hit. Devin answered back and fought off the back foot. Devin went back to the body to try to slow him down at the end of the fight because he knew what I told y'all. Lomachenko saves his energy to the end of the fight. Devin showed you that without saying. That's why Devin went to the body. You've never seen Devin fight to the body, ever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, right. And that came from Mr. Finesse. He said even after Loma had a dominant 10 and 11 round, Devin dug down and won the 12 decisively. Right. But this is my thing. If Loma had fought the beginning of the fight like he did 10 and 11, we wouldn't be saying that. Man, listen, I don't care if Loma beat Devin. It doesn't matter to me. I don't lose nothing if Devin loses. I don't care. Listen, this is what people don't understand about me. And I'm sure a lot of you guys feel this way. I told y'all this channel right here, I'm straight up about it. Straight up. When I say straight up and I say no chaser, I'm saying it's the hardcore straight liquor here. It's hardcore straight. If Devin had lost to Loma, I could care less. I don't care. Then I would just say Loma has all the belts. Go fight Tank. My point is, I want all those guys to fight each other. I like Devin because Devin says, nah, forget this. I'm going to go fight Cambosis twice over there in Australia. You know what I mean? No. Toon said, he said that man said, I'm moving to the left. Man, that man is figuring me out. Well, he's right. But that doesn't mean you losing the fight because Loma is figuring you out. Loma is switching up the game plan. That doesn't mean that. That don't mean you lost. Does that mean you lost? Yeah. So, yeah. Watch it. But this is how I watch it. I just watch it and say, okay, who is controlling the fight? Who's landing meaningful punches? And who is you watch the flow of a fight. The fight goes in beats and tunes. It goes. It's a flow. Boxing is a chess match. Is what it is. It's I might be beating you at the beginning of the round, but do I make the adjustment so you won't turn it on and beat me at the end? And then I got an overall game plan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Loma, listen. All I say is all fighters must fight each other. And the reason why I like Devin is because Devin has shown he will fight those guys. You see what I'm saying? And while the other guys are playing around with, oh, he's an email champion. What has he done? Who has he fought? Who cares? You know what I mean? People think I'm picking on Canelo because I say, like me and some of the Canelo fans have been going at it on this video I put up, and I said Canelo's ducking again, and Benavidez. I put that video up a couple days ago. You guys go see it, but go look at the comments. Oh man, me and them going back and forth in there, and they're like, oh, it's just another black channel that's hating on Canelo. I'm like, I'm not hating on Canelo. I'm arguing why don't he fight David Benavidez? You see what I'm saying? Oh, well, David Benavidez, he doesn't sell. I'm like, what the hell does it matter if he sells or not? He's the biggest threat at 168. It doesn't matter. I don't care if David Benavidez doesn't sell at all. Then don't pay him that much. Canelo is making 50. Listen, WBC is not WBC. The PBC is offering Canelo $50 million to fight David Benavidez. And I'm like, David Benavidez deserves a shot. It's got nothing to do with black. It's got nothing to do with white. It's got nothing to do with your ethnicity. It has something to do with who's the best at the sport. Canelo should fight him. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm crying about. You know? Canelo should fight the dude. It shouldn't be no, what has he, like, think about it. Everybody's talking about Crawford doesn't have a really good resume. What has Crawford done? Right? Crawford does not sell. What did we say? It don't matter if Crawford sells or not. Spence, fight him. If y'all got to work it out in the split, who cares? Fight him. Dudes don't want their guys to lose. Real fans want to see great fights. Yeah, B Megastar. Yeah, That's what I'm saying. That's all we want to see. Dude, right. Fans talking about, yeah, who sells instead of competition sounds stupid. Dude, I didn't grow up like that. I didn't grow up thinking that my boxer got to come out as long as he win, it looks good on us. No, if back in the day when I was rooting for Mike Tyson, I wanted Mike Tyson to fight everybody. I wanted to fight Evander Holyfield. I was like, fight him now. Don't fight him later. Fight him right now. That's how I was. I was young, but I was like, Tyson should fight Evander right now. Don't pass go. You know what I'm saying? Because even then, as a kid, I knew things can happen within the sport. And what happened? Mike Tyson went to jail, came out, got accused of rape, went to jail for 5 years. When he came out, he was not the same Mike Tyson. So when he fought Evander Holyfield was fighting the Mike Tyson who stayed in prison for 5 years, eating bad food, not fighting. You know what I mean? That prison food that hurts anybody. Floyd went to jail in Vegas, and within 30 days, he was in a petition to court. Y'all gotta let me out. I'm not eating good. This is gonna destroy my career. Vegas let Floyd Mayweather out of jail before his time because they knew that was going to affect his career, and everybody making millions off of him, they needed him healthy. They got Floyd out of jail. Tyson spent it wasn't 5, it was like 3 years in prison, right? Wasn't it 3? He had a 5-year sentence, but I think he did 3 years. But either way it goes, he was gone out of sport for a while. He wasn't the same fighter when he came back. Then they put him on medication because then he had medication, and Mike Tyson was in the ring rubbing sweat and blood off people's face, hugging them. I think he kissed somebody on the cheek. Yeah. So Mike Tyson wasn't the same dangerous fighter. He was flipping up and down. I mean, he was going through stuff. You know what I'm saying? People was hating him, and it was just all kind of stuff. Now everybody loves Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is one of the most iconic boxing figures ever. He can't do no wrong right now. He beat a dude up on the plane, and they said the dude deserved it. Years ago, Tyson would have went to jail for that. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, the best must fight the best, period. But they need to do it now before something happens. It's like Spence got in a car wreck. Then he had a torn retina. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens. But we keep putting these fights off. Oh, let's let the fight build up, and who has he fought? Man, forget that. Let's let this go down like right now, bro. Let it go right down. It's crazy. And that's what needs to happen. All those guys need to fight right now. And it's just messed up that everybody looks at it like it's about their ethnicity. If you're talking about that fighter, you're talking about me. And it's like, dude, I'm not even playing that game with y'all. I'm not. I talk about black fighters. I talk about white fighters. I talk about any fighter that's out there not doing right. The fighter who I can't stand the most that's in the sport is a black fighter, and that's Dillian White. Should be kicked out for all the cheating he's done. And you think I'm going to say that about a black fighter, that he needs to be kicked out the sport, and I won't call Canelo out for cheating or Oscar Valdez for cheating? Them dudes got caught with PED. So did Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury got caught cheating. He lost his license because he's talking about boar meat, right? So did Dillian White got caught, I don't know how many times. Big Baby Miller. Them dudes should pay for what they done. Conor Ben got caught. Oh, I got PEDs out of eggs. They all lying, dude. You know what I mean? And I don't give nobody a pass. That's my point. I don't care how y'all feel about it, but I'm not giving no damn body a pass. I don't care about nobody getting their damn feelings either. You getting your feelings all you want, bro. But you got to have something to stand on and come back and say something that makes sense that when you're taking up for a fighter. Canelo is a drug cheat. Said hello from Omaha, the home of the future unified. Now ain't going to happen, TD. Ain't going to happen. Spence is going to beat Crawford, period. Oh, and then what's crazy is, y'all remember, everybody got mad because I spoke up about Crawford. Oh, y'all hating on black fighters. I hate on everybody, so they say. But everything I say is factual and true. I ain't saying that not made up. You know what I mean? Crawford doesn't have the biggest resume in there, but Crawford is a hell of a fighter. You know what I mean? And Crawford wasn't A-side, but he held out long enough to become A-side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said England and Mexico people be doing stuff to get that edge. Yeah, they do. They do. And fighters in America do it too, but shit, it's so it's listen, they put us through the ringer so much that they don't really get to cheat as much. But in England, they cheating like a mug. Listen, every time you turn around, Eddie Hearn has some fighter over there that's cheating. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Thunder, salute. He said, real talk about Loma, bro. He's a hype job, never as good as advertised. Now he just makes excuses. Yeah, he does. It's sad, man. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna lie to myself because of a fighter either. Because at the end of the day, we don't get paid for it. All we do is get to talk crap to each other, bet here and there, and go on and spend our money and fuel them on the lifestyle that they wish they could be. Said Bud can game plan twice, box or go toe to toe. The rematch is huge for both fighters. Yep, I agree with you, TD. And guess what? I told you they was gonna make that fight. I told everybody was gonna make that fight. And y'all remember I broke that video out months ago. And I ain't gonna say it was channels that came in here and said, man, they're not gonna fight. If Spence don't fight Thurman, he gonna lose his belt. Then not even after that, they went and said, oh yeah, they made the fight. I said, I told y'all they was gonna make the fight. It made sense. And then I told y'all when they done it, I said, that fight is done. That fight's a done deal. I don't know what took them so long to announce it and stuff, but that fight was already a done deal. And you remember just a few weeks ago, they were saying that Spence said he was giving Crawford 8 more days or something like that to take the fight. And if Crawford didn't, he was going to move on. Man, that stuff was already history, bro. Loma is a good fighter. He's not all hype. He's a good fighter. He's not a great fighter. He's a good fighter. Because I'm finna start saying Haney ain't fought nobody again. No. Listen, most of the guys at 135 are good fighters. They are. Loma is a good fighter. Is Loma better than Muhammad Ali? No. Is he better than Floyd Mayweather? No. Is he better than all that? Loma hadn't had enough fights to prove his greatness, and he's done lost 3 fights. And he's cried about all 3 of those fights he's lost, right? So there you have it. Loma's good, but that's all it is. Now, where does he land in the 135 division between Tank, Ryan, Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Loma? That's all 5 of those guys. All 5 of them. Where does he land between all of them? We don't know until he fights everybody. So Loma definitely needs to fight Tank, and he definitely needs to fight Shakur Stevenson. Yeah. Loma is he's one of the top guys. He's one of those top guys. He is. So the thing about it is, and listen, remember this: the triangle theory does not always pan out. Because one fighter beat that fight don't mean the other fighter gonna beat that fighter. Devin Haney beat Loma. That doesn't mean Tank gonna go in and beat Loma. I'm not picking Loma to beat Tank at all. But it doesn't mean that Loma can box. You know? Tank can box. Tank got a powerful hand, but he's got to land it. Like Deontay Wilder, he's got that hand. But see, Tank got some more boxing skills that Wilder doesn't have. Wilder's hand hits harder, but he doesn't have the skills that Tank has. Yeah, I saw that. Y'all put that up there. Yeah, style make fights too. Yeah, I saw that, TD. I saw that they had it out there for Terrence. I thought that was pretty good. And I like that Terrence is down inside the media and doing all this stuff. Yeah, they said that. They said that too. But yeah, I like that. I like that they doing that for Crawford. I like that Crawford is out there embracing social media, embracing all this stuff. He has to now because he knows that's how he's gonna make his money off the back end, right? We haven't heard too much from Spence, but I'm sure that's gonna come. Spence probably waiting on the face-offs and all that. That's what's gonna be really good. If Haney fights Regis, I'd have to give him super credit for taking that fight. I'd just rather see him take Tank after all that talk. Yeah, Miss Finesse, I agree with you on that. Listen, I am 100% with you. I do not see Devin Haney moving up, beating Regis, because Regis is comfortable in that weight. I don't know what Devin Haney will do at 140. I would say go up and take a fight to see what you do. But if he says, hey, I want to go right into Regis, hey, Mikey Garcia went right on into Spence, so let him go do it. I don't think he'll beat Regis, but hey, I take my hat off to him, and that's what I like about that. That little kid will go try anybody. You know what I'm saying? Just like I give Ryan credit for trying Tank. I just wish Ryan had been active more. He said, when has Tank been able to land? He said, When hasn't Tank been able to land? Loma versus Tank don't go 8 rounds. Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying, I mean, I'm not saying that Tank can't land, but I'm saying you have to land it. And Loma's a good fighter. Loma got to come up with a way to try to figure it out, you know? Loma's got to come up with a way to try to keep Tank from landing that shot, you know? You know? And then Tank doesn't have that reach advantage, so Loma can move. It'll be a good fight. It'll be a good fight. It'll be a really good fight. It'll be an interesting fight. Said Regis Prograis is a southpaw and 140, so Haney's probably in more trouble than Loma. Hey, he could be. But at the end of the day, he wants that fight. Let him fight. He won't try Shakur. Who won't try Shakur? You saying Devin won't try Shakur? I say Devin would, but I think that the juice ain't worth the squeeze with Devin. I think he should listen. I'm gonna tell you this. I think he should fight Shakur. But if he goes and fights Regis Prograis, I'm not mad at him if he feel like his body gonna do better at 140. I'm not mad at him for that. I'm not. I won't say he's ducking Shakur if he fights Regis or he fights Tank. As long as he fights a big name, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Said Loma's past his best 4 years ago. Yeah, but Loma didn't do bad. Loma really listen. That fight was Loma did better in that fight than a lot of people thought he would do. A lot of people said Loma was washed up, and I said Loma is not washed up. Loma is not washed up. Big dog, salute, salute. Said if he fight Regis, he's fight Shakur. Yeah. Hey, listen. He will listen. I'm okay with him fight either of them guys. You're right. If he'll fight me, he will fight one of them. Yeah. He said, good, overrated, hype job. Loma will have 2 back-to-back losses if he fights Shakur Stevenson. Be a good fight, though. Be a really good fight. Shakur Stevenson can flat out fight, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson can flat out fight, man. But we getting robbed when these guys don't fight each other. You know what I'm saying? They all need to fight. They all got to go at it, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, they need to be making that fight with Loma and Shakur Stevenson or Loma and Tank. It's got to go one of those ways. He said, watch, bruh, go look at the Nakatani fight. Then the Haney fight, 2 different people. Yeah. Yeah, you think so? But let me say this, Toom. You saying that Loma's washed up because if you look at the Nakatani fight, then you look at the Devin Haney fight, it's 2 different people. The reason why it's 2 different people because Devin Haney is a bigger fighter and Devin Haney is a better fighter than Nakatani. And Devin Haney is going to make him do different stuff. You can't get off on one fighter, but you're going to get off on the other. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Toom? So think about it. Loma can get away with certain stuff with one fighter. He can't get away with other fighters. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get away with that with Devin because you got to think. Devin was not out there just throwing jabs all the time. Devin was standing on the inside hitting body shots trying to slow Loma down for the later part of the fight. Devin was trying to win the first round, but trying to break Loma down all the way to the end. That's what he was shooting for. And what happened was Loma saved all this stuff for the 10th and 11th, and then 12th round, he didn't have a whole lot left. He tired himself out. He finally fought, and them punches that Devin laid to the body helped him out. He said if he watched name 5 lightweights that can beat him. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you, yeah, good answer. Yeah, Loma is not washed, bruh. He just fought a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? He just fought a really good fighter. That does not mean you washed up. Okay, put it this way. Earl Spence fought Sean Porter. They went tooth and nail. Now, we can really tell the truth and say Earl Spence did a fat camp. He wasn't all the way in shape. This is before the car wreck. Earl Spence wasn't taking care of himself like he's doing now, right? He fought Sean Porter. It went tooth and nail. Bud stopped Sean Porter's next, well, no. Sean Porter had another fight, then he fought Bud, and then Bud stopped him, right? So does that mean Spence was washed up? Because Spence didn't do too good with Sean Porter? Then he turned right around and fought Danny Garcia, did a little bit, did okay with Danny. Well, he did good with Danny. Him and Sean Porter was more of a war. And with Danny, you know, he showed a little bit better. And then with Ugas, he broke Ugas' eye. So you can't say a fighter because of one performance is washed up because they would have said that about Spence. Yeah, Devin was definitely a different fighter between Kambosos and Loma. Because Kambosos, he used the jab. With Loma, he didn't hardly use that jab. First fight, he was tying him up with Kambosos. Second fight, he wasn't. Right, 8 Mile. I agree with that. But Sean Porter clearly wasn't the same fighter when he fought Bud than when he fought Spence. Podcast Porter did not take that fight as serious as he did with Spence. If he had fought and trained like he did with Spence with Bud, it would have been a better fight. Can't say he'd beat Bud, but it'd been a whole lot different. Bud was washed for Crawford. I don't think Bud was washed. I mean, I don't think Porter was washed for Crawford. I just think he didn't train for Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He didn't train for Crawford. He was too busy doing podcasts. The Porter that fought Spence would have been a damn good fight against Crawford. I still think Crawford probably would have beat him, but I think that it would have been hell. It wouldn't have been like what Bud thought. It wouldn't have went out like that. Definitely wouldn't have went out like that. But I think Sean Porter would have fought even harder in the beginning, and then that would have made Bud turn it on a lot earlier. Because Bud was like, you remember when they told Bud he was behind on the scorecards, and he looked, and they said in the corner, and Bud said, I'm behind? Then he came out. That's when he really started hitting Sean Porter and really start trying to stop Sean Porter. I think what Bud was doing, Bud was just fighting. When Bud heard, okay, I'm behind, I'm going to have to turn it up. Bud could have turned it up a little bit earlier. Yeah, he was having trouble with the Porter he fought, but when he was ready to turn it up, he came with it, though. Bud did come with it. You know what I mean? Now, if it had been the one that fought Spence, Bud would have had to start that by round 2 or 3. Yeah, I had Porter doing better. I had Porter a little head on that. I did. I had Porter a little head on that. But Porter wasn't fighting him as good as he was fighting Spence. But it don't seem like Bud was giving it his all. When they said, Bud, you behind, that's when I saw Bud really start kicking in the gear. But Bud should have done that 3-4 rounds earlier. It seems to me Bud was sandbagging, period. Even though Porter was doing good, Bud was like he was still – man, they were like two people that didn't want to fight. And Kenny Porter already said that Sean was going to retire. So Kenny Porter was already ready to throw in the towel. He said Sean Porter wasn't doing what he had to do in training camp. He already said it. Oh, listen. But the difference is between Spence and Sean Porter was just, it was a payday for Sean Porter. He was quitting. Spence is trying to get undisputed. It's no sandbagging with Spence. Spence said from the beginning of the fight, I'm stepping to you. And I take that he's going to step to me. Bud can't stop slow with Spence at all. Listen, this fight between Spence and Bud is going to be a hell of a war. Hell of a war. Oh, yeah. Remember, guys, the phone is always open. Anybody want to call in, y'all feel free to call in anytime. You know, we let you talk for a little bit and get you off just in case, you know, somebody else want to talk. He said Porter's dad was worried he would get seriously hurt. Yeah, a little bit, but he didn't give him a chance to get seriously hurt. Sean Porter wasn't hurt. He was sitting there beating on the what's the name, but that to me was more show. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter was not hurt when he was on that ground and he beating on the mat. When he got knocked down by Ugas, and that was a knockdown, Ugas knocked Sean Porter down. Sean Porter jumped up. They said it was a slip, but Sean Porter jumped right up. When Earl hit him and his glove hit the mat, when Earl hit Sean Porter and Sean Porter's glove hit the mat, Sean Porter stood up and was like, come on, come on, come on. When he got hit by Bud, he was sitting there with his head down, beating on the mat. I mean, come on. He just wasn't in it. Sean Porter mentally was not in that fight. The beauty of this fight is it's no fantasy fight. It's going down. All the talk will have to answer. Yeah, I agree with you. Mr. Finesse. That's exactly what this is. Hey, this one is going all the way down. All the way down. It's not going to be none of that silly stuff. Yeah. Porter was on his feet and loose at the end of the fight. He sure was. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt at all. He said, I disagree. I think Spence walks through Crawford. Don't be shocked when it's an easy fight. I don't know. Listen, Toon, I cannot dispute that. I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. I got it. I'm nodding for Earl to win, but I got a 50-50 fight. But I'm taking Earl. Yeah, yeah, he wasn't hurt. He was disappointed himself. Yeah, 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 yeah. That he been sitting there playing podcast Porter. Yeah, Porter wasn't even hurt at all. He wasn't hurt. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Call in. Phone line open, man. Bud will not quit. I can tell you that. Now, Bud ain't gonna quit. Listen, listen. It is not going to be an easy road on either side. I don't think. Now, when they get in there and fight, if somebody could get caught, anything can happen in that fight, right? Anything, because this is boxing. We all know that, right? But at the end of the day, both these two dudes can punch and both these two dudes can fight. And right now, Spence is the underdog in this fight. Vegas got Spence the slight underdog. Very slightly. Very slightly. And a lot of the boxing profession is saying that Spence, they picking Bud. Said Bud will Earl first 5 rounds. After that, Spence will turn into a workhorse stoppage. Bud will rock Spence. Okay, got you. After he watched his daughter run, he said he will never quit. Man, Bud didn't never have no quit in him anyway. But really, after his daughter did that race, man, that was beautiful, bro. His daughter didn't give up, man. That's genetic. Listen, Spence and Bud, you got to drag them out of that ring, bro. You got to drag both them twos out. That's why this fight is just going to be so amazing, man. You got to drag both of them dudes out that ring. Listen, I'm not wishing nothing bad on either one of them, but these are the type of fights that can end somebody's career, man. It might not be nothing left after these two. If one of them don't win decisively, like find a way and come through this, they could both hurt each other and wear each other down so bad they don't have a lot left after these fights. This is that type of fight, bro. This is that. he said Porter was hurt. Why you think his dad threw in that towel? Man, Porter wasn't hurt. Porter was, his feelings was hurt because he didn't take it serious. He wanted to play the game. After that, he said he done. Porter retired early, man. He done got married, kids, all that stuff, and he done made that money. Porter was done. Yeah, Porter was already contemplating getting out of there anyway. What Porter did was he gonna go in there and take a shot, and if he won, he won. If he didn't, he didn't. It was no big deal with Bud. You know what I mean? It really wasn't. Yeah, man. Yeah, but this fight right here, this fight right here gonna be one of those. Listen, this is a fight you definitely want to see. I think comes out first. I think comes out first as the challenger with just one title. Who, Bud? You think Bud comes out? Or are you saying Bud? Nah, TD. The way they talked about it last time, they said Bud was actually gonna come to the ring last. I don't know if they changed it this time or not, but did you guys see that Bud was the first person that got to break about the fight? So Bud got to say that. You know what I mean? So Bud's okay. Said Bud will. Yeah, Bud. Listen, Bud won't make it through Spence and Mel. Listen, if what they say, if was a dish, if was fish, we'd all have a dish. Ain't that it goes? If was fish, we'd all have a dish. Listen, if Bud beats Spence, and that's a big if, it's a rematch clause. So if Spence takes the rematch, he beats Spence twice, or Spence feel like I don't want to tangle with Bud. That's the if. I doubt that. And Bud goes up and beats Jermell Charlo, I will start arguing that Bud is in the top 5 of all time. I know y'all gonna call it foolish. If Bud moves from 135, undisputed at 140, undisputed at 147, undisputed at 154, we got to start saying that Bud is one of the best of all times. I don't think it's going to happen. That's a hell of a tall order, bruh. But if Bud does that, it's not good. Listen, if he does it, like I said, if was fish, we'd all have a dish, Bud would be something incredible. He'd be incredible. He would be incredible. I do not see him just running through Spence, and I don't see him running through Charlo. So I just hope Spence take an Uber to the fight and doesn't drive himself. Oh, that's messed up, TD. That's low blow, man. That's low. That's low. Yeah. But listen, this is gonna be a good one, bro. This is gonna be a barn burner. But at the end of the day, Lomachenko and the 135 pounders, they all got to step up to the plate and get it done, bro. All the 135 pounders they got to keep on mixing it up. They got to keep on mixing it up. They right there at it. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be mixed up because the 147 is taking back over the division, man. I mean, taking back over the whole boxing world. This Bud and they was like, they don't think Bud and Spence is gonna do 1,000,000 pay-per-views. Man, they gonna do 1,000,000 pay-per-views, and I stand on that one, bro. Y'all can hold me on that one. Y'all can throw it in my face and tell me I'm wrong on that one. Because y'all know if I'm right, I'm gonna throw it in y'all's face. They're gonna do over 1,000,000 pay-per-views. Said Floyd, Pac, Durant, Ali, Tyson, Roy, Ward. Come on, man. A lot of legends, top 5 is a stretch. I just said it's an argument. It's an argument. Because think about it. Think about it, Toon. If you Bud, would you box or brawl Spence? I'm gonna answer that in just a second. Listen, Toon. Listen. The reason why I say that is because Spence is no joke, man, at all. Crawford had a belt at 135, got undisputed 140. Okay. Then you get undisputed at 147 with a monster like Spence. You two are number 1, number 2 pound for pound in the world, and you knock off the next pound for pound fighter in the world, and then you go beat another arguably close to number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world with Jermell Charlo, who has ran through and cleared out a whole division. You have to give Bud that kind of credit, man. You have to. Andre, I'm not saying that Crawford can beat all those guys. I'm saying what Crawford has done, hardly nobody on that list has really done. Duran was good, but Duran didn't run through Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, and Hearns. Duran didn't run through them guys. You know what I'm saying? Tyson didn't run through everybody. Tyson's first half of his career was good. The second half of his career wasn't so great. Wasn't the best. He lost to Evander Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say he's in the conversation. I'm not saying he is the best, but you got to put him up there. You know what I'm saying? Undisputed in 3 different weight classes, and you knocked off top pound for pound guys in their prime. Not that you older than them. Man, you had to give Bud credit on that, bro. You had to give Bud credit on that. He said, if you Bud, do you box or brawl Spence? Let me tell you something. You can go in there and try to box Spence all you want, but it's going to be a brawl. Spence ain't going to let you box him. He said, check this out. Crawford's trainer says Bud Crawford walks around at 160, 168. Yeah, Bud ain't as little as they say. They keep saying Bud is so little. Bud ain't that little. Bud is lean. Bud is a lean fighter. And like you said, he said he's 160, 168, depending on how he eats and stuff. But he said Bud eats chicken and fish all the time. He don't drink sodas. He don't do all that. So yeah, Bud is a pretty big dude. 168, walking around with 8% body fat, 9% body fat. Crawford stays about 9-10% body fat, somewhere in there. That's where he stays. In fight nights, right before he's making weight, he comes down to probably about 7-8%, I'd say. Then he goes back up night of the fight, 10%, right at 10. A lot of that is water weight and stuff too, you know what I mean? So yeah, but Tank did it. 8 Mile said, I don't know about that show. A lot of people still the fights. Only us true boxing fans buy the fights. Yeah, 8 Mile, but this is the thing. When it's a really good fight like that, a lot more people gonna tune in, and you can't go out and watch them everywhere. Because think about it, Gervonta Tank Davis and them just did 1.2 million pay-per-views, him and Ryan. If they did it, it's possible. You see what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, this fight right here is a better quality fight, 2 better opponents, 2 closer matched opponents, fighting for something that's bigger, undisputed. They at the pinnacle. It doesn't get any bigger than Crawford and Spence. And they're number 1, number 2 pound for pound. Really, they really that. Tank ain't number one on really hardly nobody's list. Well, if he beats Spence and he beats Sean Porter might get in the Hall of Fame. Crawford, I don't know who all. I had to go back through Crawford's thing. He ain't beat a lot of Hall of Famers, but he did get undisputed. He got 3 different weight classes. Well, right now he's in three belts, but he's undisputed 140. If he beats Spence, he's undisputed at 147. If he beats Charlo, he's undisputed at 154. Then that means he's beat Hall of Famers who have beaten other Hall of Famers. Charlo is going to go down to the Hall of Fame. And Earl Spence. Yeah, Tank and Ryan did 1.2 million, bro. Go check it out. Well, if you're saying right now, Tune, I'm not saying Crawford right now. We're saying he's already undisputed. He beat who was there at 135. He got a belt there. 140, he did okay at 140 because, he didn't beat a lot of people. I mean, he got his belts really quick at 140. But then he moves up to 147. If he beats Spence and then he beats Charlo, I'm saying if. That's why I said if. I'm not saying he's going to beat those guys. I'm saying if. If he beats Charlo, if he beats Spence, if he beats Spence and Charlo, then that right there puts him down in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something. If you put Spence back in those days, Spence gonna do good in those days. Can I say he beats all those guys? I can't say that. Can I say those guys beat him? Can't say that either. Spence is a really good fighter, man. Spence is a throwback fighter. He can handle those Ray Leonard days. Spence can. So then it just comes down to full debate. Who do you think? You know what I mean? Ray Leonard was a really good fighter, but Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns was good fighters. All them guys were good fighters. Duran was a good fighter. So you think if Bud beats Spence, if he does, that's a Hall of Famer. Because Spence gonna be in the Hall of Fame. I would think. I don't think he gets in automatic, but I think that if he does lose to Bud, he's gonna have to go beat some other people. And I think he's very capable of beating other people to get himself in there. He said, look how you hung up on Undisputed. I'm looking at the resume. Kale, Khan, Benavidez, Postal, Horn, Gamboa, like beating 2 pound for pound elite fighters your whole career. I can't see it. Well, what I'm saying is if he beats Spence, okay, Gamboa, he beat Gamboa when Gamboa was decent, right? Jeff Horn wasn't all that, but he beat Jeff Horn. Benavidez wasn't all that. I give you that. But what I'm saying is he is undisputed at 140. That alone does not make him top 5 in all time. That right there does it. I said that about Bud, that Bud is not a shoe-in Hall of Famer just because of that other stuff. He needed this Spence fight. He needs this Spence fight to say, okay, win or lose, if it comes down to a war, that will get him in there. That's the war. That's the thing that he needs. That's what I'm saying about Bud. But if he beats Spence and he beats Charlo, so you telling me you don't think Charlo could go back and beat those guys off Leonard's resume? Charlo's a beast. I said if he beats Charlo. If he goes up and takes Charlo, who cleaned out Charlo has cleaned out a whole division at 154. And you telling me that somebody comes from 135, go up there and beat that dude and take his belts, don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and he had to go through another monster to get to him, Earl Spence Jr.? Shh. You got to say it, man. The winner of this fight is the best fighter the under 40 fans have ever seen. Yeah, Fight Live. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. This fight right here is the best fighter that anybody under 40 has ever seen live. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. That's what they're not getting, man. This fight right here is one of them generational fights, man. We ain't had a fight like this magnitude since about over 30 years. Damn near 40. It's been almost 40 years since you've seen a fight like that. You know what I'm saying? Ray Leonard Hagler was really good fight. Hagler and Hearns was a really good fight. But now after the fight was over with, they had legendary fights, right? Now Spence and Crawford got to live up to the hype. They got to live up to the hype. If one of them go in there and knock the other one out in the first round, that didn't live up to the hype. It'll be a good fight, but it ain't the war that we expected. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But we think they're gonna live up to it. If they live up to what we say it is, then it's one of those fights, man. On paper, it's a 40-year fight. It's a 30 to 40-year fight on paper. That's on paper. I don't know how it's going to transition in the ring. You never know these things till you get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? One of them could get clipped. One of them, you know what I mean? But will it have what we need it to have? You know what I mean? Look at Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali fought with a broke jaw and won the fight. Muhammad Ali let George Foreman beat him up for rounds till George Foreman got tired and Muhammad Ali knocked him out. He let George Foreman fight and beat on his body for the whole fight. For the whole fight. When it was said and done, he went and knocked out George Foreman. Muhammad Ali did that. Now, do you think Bud can lay against the ropes and let Spence beat on him for 12 rounds and then knock Spence out the last 2 rounds? It's not going to happen. Spence going to break your body down. It's a difference. Am I going to watch the AB fight on the 9th? I don't know. I don't know, man. I might. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it, but I will watch that AB fight just to see if he let his hands go. I don't even know who he fighting in. Is he fighting at one? I haven't even really checked on AB, Toon. Is AB fighting 140 or 147? I think he fighting 140, right? Said big mega fights always seem to have controversy like headbutts or low blows. Listen, listen, because people gonna make excuses. All big mega fights have a problem. Pacquiao, his rotator cuff. Floyd Mayweather, he was cheating because he went and got a saline bag. You know what I mean? He rehydrated himself. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't let Pacquiao take meds for his arm, his shoulder hurting, right? Ray Leonard and Hagler said he got robbed, right? It always happens. Hell, look at the controversy with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather washed Canelo, right? But one of the judges had Canelo winning. You know? Think about it. Every mega fight is always going to have a problem. It's always going to have something. It's just one of those things. People going to get their feelings and people going to look at one person going to say the glass is half empty and the other person is going to say the glass is half full. That's how fights go. That's how it goes. You got to shake it off and just hope you ain't on the wrong end of the stick. Now, I had fighters that I saw lose and I was pissed off, mad as hell. Yeah, saltwater healed Pacquiao's arm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, saltwater. Yeah. And you know, they kept saying Floyd was dodging Pacquiao for all them years because Floyd didn't want to fight him. But Floyd was like, "Hey, go take this." Pacquiao said, "I don't like needles. I don't like needles." But got tattoos, but I don't like needles, right? Then Pacquiao finally takes the fight, and man, it's gonna be something all the time, you know. Then they try to say, listen, they said Pacquiao was over the hill, but Floyd was older than Pacquiao. How does that happen? How can Pacquiao be over the hill, but Floyd ain't, and Floyd is older than Pacquiao? It's just how you look at it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the greatness of boxing, man. It's just anything can happen in the sport. You just got to see the best fight the best, and you just hope that it goes right. Yeah, Pacquiao never want to take that test, bro. No, but I won't call Pacquiao cheat because Pacquiao never got caught with anything. So I can speculate. I don't know, but Pacquiao, I will not put that on Pacquiao. He's never failed a drug test. Now, consider he ain't took a lot of them, but he never failed them. You know what I'm saying? Never failed them. But we know some people like Tyson Fury failed. We know a lot of people failed some drugs. Antonio Tarver failed. Antonio Tarver got something bad to say about everybody, and Antonio Tarver was never a great fighter at all. But now he's coming back out of the woodwork talking trash because he wants to make money. Yeah, he does. Don't like tattoos, but don't like news, but got a tattoo. Said, yeah, Floyd was ducking Manny Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao wouldn't take the test. And Floyd was like, man, take the test and we'll fight. And Manny's like, nah, we're not doing that. But they penalized Floyd for that. You know that? Skip Bayless has went off on Floyd for years, said, man, he's trying to age out Pacquiao. And Floyd older than Pacquiao. How does it happen? TD said, finally, boxing overtakes the MMA. Yeah. Boxing would stay ahead of MMA if the best would fight the best because people love knockouts. That's why in MMA, they pay their fighters $60,000, $50,000 to have the best knockout of the night because they want them to stand up and throw some blows. You know what I mean? And the best fighters are more dynamic. You know what I'm saying? That's the fighters that they like at the MMA. You know what I mean? When they get on the ground and start wrestling stuff, sometimes you get a little bored with that. They got to stand them up, break them up, let them go like that. That's the flaw that's in there, right? But when they go in there and go at it and you see them punches, somebody get knocked out or somebody break a foot, somebody break a leg, like Anderson Silva kicked what's name and his leg went one way and broke. Conor McGregor kicked what's name and broke his leg. It's crazy, man. Oh, Freddie Roach and Max Kellerman came out and said it wasn't Floyd's fault after all this time. Yeah, but everybody knew that, man. Everybody knew that. But they wanted to put it off on Floyd to seem like it was Floyd's fault because they was trying to pressure Floyd into just taking the fight anyway. And Floyd's like, I'm not taking that fight. You got to be clean to fight me. And which is smart. You know what I'm saying? Clarissa Shields, she was going to fight Hannah Gabriel again. And what happened was Hannah failed the test. And Clarissa said, hey, I got knocked down by her. So she probably was on something then, which she probably was. You never know. But then now she's saying that the reason why she failed that drug test was because she was handling some kind of dog's medicine or something. And she was getting her dog some medicine and it got in her fingers or got on her skin or something like that. And it was in there. Oh, you broke your leg like that 7 months ago. What was you doing? What was you doing when you broke your leg? Fighting? You do MMA? What was you doing? How'd you do it? What you doing? Fighting, kicking? What happened? Hey, that's a crazy ass break, man. Anytime you see somebody do something and they leg going one way and the bottom part of their leg go the other way, hey, it ain't good, man. You remember when John Jones was fighting in the UFC and he threw that punch and broke his toe? He was pushing off the mat so hard it tore his toe out. It broke his toe, came out the skin. It broke in there. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen, man. That's crazy. How do you have confidence of going back in the ring and punching off and twisting on your foot, pushing off your foot again for a devastating blow after you already done tore your toe once? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You remember back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember this, UFC would let you wear shoes, but you couldn't kick. Y'all remember that? When Hoist Gracie and them fought? Oh my God, man. I'm glad to see you still alive, man. I'm glad it didn't get too much worse than that, man. Oh my goodness, man. Said on my Harley, a lady ran a red light. Oh my God. How you doing now? You back walking now? Is everything good? And did you get your bike fixed? He said, maybe it's just, but Clarissa overrated to me. She's leaps and bounds over her competition, which ain't her fault, but still kind of waters it down. Oh, okay. You meant maybe it's just me, but Clarissa's overrated. Um, I I ain't gonna say she. I can't go with you on that on overrated. I think that Clarissa is good. I think that if the competition ain't up to her level, like she did with this girl this last weekend, she ran over her. But when she fought good, strong competition, it was a war, and she showed you how good she was in that war because her and Savannah Marshall went. I mean, that was. Did you see that fight, Toon? Did you see that fight with Savannah Marshall? That shows you everything you need to know. And she was actually going to fight somebody else, but they failed the drug test. So she had to fight this girl, right? Now, she didn't get to prepare for the girl. The girl didn't get to prepare for her, but both of them was getting ready for a fight. Clarissa Shield was already going to fight this Saturday, but the girl was going to fight the 9th, which is this coming Saturday, right? So the 9th or whenever she was going to fight, or whatever day it was. I don't know if it's whenever it was, she's gonna fight the girl tonight. So they both was in shape and they both was ready for a fight anyway. And they didn't get to study each other, so they went and fought. But Chris Shield shows you how good she is. She's been a great fighter, you know. But the problem is she is not a lot of great competition. In the competition she did, she showed you how good of a fighter she is. That Savannah Marshall fight was crazy, dude. You watch that fight and you can't say that she's overrated because that was a good challenger. That was a great challenger. And Clarissa Shields' first fight that she came in, she what was her second fight? She fought franchise Cruz Deserve. Clarissa, man, Clarissa's that girl, man. Said, I hope Bud is actually considered a challenger. He fights better when people think, nah, ATD. Nah, Bud is actually they got Bud is winning. Spence is the underdog. Go look at all Spence's they had Bud minus 120 and Spence plus 100. So they got him almost as a 50-50 fight, but they got Spence as the underdog. Oh my God. Well, man, hey, hopefully, dog, 8 Mile. I'm sorry to hear that. He said bike was total and I'm walking with a cane for now. I'll be straight down the line. Yeah, yeah. Hey, glad to know you up and walking. You got to press it. Same thing happened to Spence after that car wreck. What he say? He said, hey, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to train and do all that again. I just had to go push it. So hopefully you get better. Said Roy was the same way, leaps and bounds over his competition. I don't know. It's not like they fought, but yeah, they didn't have elite competition. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Spence is 115 now. Oh, I gotta go in there and place my bet. I was waiting for this to come back up. Listen, I told you I don't really bet on fights no more, but I'm gonna put at least $100 on Spence. I gotta do that. Because I'm going for Spence. So I'm like, I would do a straight up bet, $100 to make it more interesting. But now I'm getting more bang for my buck. Yeah, I'll go 100 versus 115. I'll go do that. I didn't know that. Last time I checked it, Spence was plus 100. So that's cool. Buzz mom tell me he gonna get beat up every fight. Yeah, because she want him to come out and show that he's not gonna get beat up. You know what I'm saying? That makes Bud go harder, you know? But listen. At the end of the day, Spence is the underdog, but Bud got to look at like he really, everybody that's calling Spence to win, they look at like Spence is the bigger guy, and which Spence ain't a whole lot bigger, like they make it seem like Floyd and Canelo, 15 pounds difference. He said, I got a 2007 Gixxer 1000, just got 150. I'm going to try faster. Oh, you went 150 on your GSX? Man, you crazy, dog. Tune, you crazy, bro. Said July the 29th is going to seem like a year. Yeah, it's not going to be a year, bro. Hey, let me tell you this, 8 Mile. This is why. You excited about it, but this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing for the fight. Yeah, I told Toon don't do it. Told him don't do it, man. We want to see him in here, man. But you know, it's one of them people. Toon might be one of them risk takers. You tell him don't, he might be one of them dudes like, hey, I gotta try it. Now I had my bike when I had a motorcycle. I think the fastest I ever went was like 135, 140. But man, that's when I was younger, man. I wouldn't try that again. That's not me, man. Done with that. In a car, I done been crazy with it. In a car, I done pushed cars to some limits, but I done got older now. I done got smarter. But yeah, hey, 8 Mile, this is what I'm gonna say. 150 is a blur. Yeah, man, but you don't want to make a mistake. You might be a blur. You know what I mean? 200 plus. Yeah, man. I know some people that's done tried to get up there. Yeah, but I'm good. Oh, you gonna go to a sports bar in Omaha to watch it? Yeah, man. And this week I've been tied up, but I'm calling tomorrow. I'm trying to see if I can have like the AMC or one of those theaters. I'm gonna see what it's gonna cost to rent it out and see if I can pull it off or get them to do it where I can go watch it. I like to be in the atmosphere. If not, I might just have a party at home. It's just I can't. I'm gonna have to go figure out a way like between now and then so I can hear the fight while I'm going live because I know they saying you can't play the fight. I've been getting mixed signals on that one, so I don't definitively know if you can have the fight in the background without getting a hit for it. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna try to have an earpiece in where I can watch the fight hear it in my ear, but still talk to people, but can hear the fight in my ear because I like to hear the punches. I like to hear some of that stuff. So, yeah. Said you already in Vegas. Oh man, forget you, man. Forget you. He said he's already in Vegas. There you go, Brian. Yeah, but 8 Mile. But let me say this to you. What you do is on a fight like this to this magnitude, enjoy everything that's leading up to the fight. Every conversation about the fight, let it where you at, where you about tired of it. Because what's going to happen is the fight is going to be over and you're going to be like, God, it happened. It was like a blur. It's just like Spence and Ugas. That was a year ago. Crawford had another fight, and now it took him a year to negotiate. That went by like a snap of the finger, right? So you might as well enjoy. Listen, I'm telling all y'all, this is the way these fights go. That nobody, if you haven't experienced one of these fights, like it's one of these once like the Hagler and Hearns, them kind of fights. I was real young back then, and we just excited. But now it's like when you see these fights, I'm enjoying everything that's leading up to it. And now we got better stuff than what they had back in the day. You got social media where they see these guys, they got all these press conferences, they can go at each other on Twitter. Used to, we couldn't keep up with fighters like that. You only see them every now and then. You had to go read about them in the magazine. You wouldn't hardly seeing all kind of stuff. You hear people talk about it. You hear some stuff that make the news, but a lot of stuff we didn't get to be a part of. Man, this shit is fun to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? So all I can say is be a part of it, man. But anyway, guys, that's it for me tonight, guys. I've had fun. I appreciate everybody that came in. If you're new to the channel, everybody hit the thumbs up button for me, man. Help the channel grow. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell icon, do all that good stuff, man. And I appreciate you guys for coming in and all the people that came back. I appreciate everybody in here, man. So, like I said, everything we say what we say, and we stand on that. That's straight up, no chaser. So until tomorrow night. Oh, yeah, we do this every weeknight at 10 p.m. Eastern. So until tomorrow night, guys, y'all have a good one. Peace, fight, fam. I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. Let me roll it.